Hi, my name is Kevin Retcher, owner of First Meridian Mortgage, and this is your market update for 9/26. Today, the PCE index came out. It is the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, came in line, showed monthly rise of 0.3%, year over year headline rise of 2.7, with core inflation steady at 2.9, right in line with economist expectation. Consumer spending rose slightly to 0.6 versus 0.5 last month, showing some resilience in the U.S. economy. These figures are used by the Federal Reserve, the PCE data, to assess inflation risk before setting policy. A few things, the Fed Watch, and this is, you can go to CME Group.com. You can get a free online account. This has the probability of what the Fed futures are for rate cuts. In October, they're expecting a potential 87% chance that they cut rates. And then in December through April, they're estimating potentially a 60 to a 40% chance that they'll cut rates at least one more time between December and March. This is a free account. It has a lot of other statistical information you can get if you're in the industry or just want to pay attention to what's going on. A few other headlines. In the market, homeowners are starting to take some homes off of the market based upon they're tired of cutting prices. And then another headline is inflation. Again, we talked about the PCE, that it may be just hot enough, but not too hot that they could still cut that interest rate. And then last but not least for the week, that the mortgage rates themselves have jumped this week over what they were last week. I always tell everyone, and I had a lot of clients that said, oh, I want to wait on the Fed before they're locked in on a refinance, and that was a mistake. Keep in mind that the lowest rates are usually in anticipation of what the Fed's going to be doing leading up to the Fed meeting, and then it's what they say and what they do and what the predictions are after that on how the Fed is going to be moving. So I do feel that despite the inflation data, the Fed is likely to continue to cut rates at least one time throughout the remainder part of the year. I think it's probably going to be in December, which I would prefer rather than October. They are focused on the labor markets mostly, and next Friday's October 5th labor unemployment number is going to be huge. Takeaways and advice: watch data releases on next Friday for unemployment to see what the direction of the Fed funds futures may actually change, and that'll give us some insight going forward. So next Friday is a key pertinent time frame, is a key piece of data. So in closing, my name is Kevin Retcher. I'm the owner of First Meridian Mortgage. If you want to get started on your home journey and you're speaking with a realtor, they're going to want you to get pre-qualified. You can start quite simply by going to firstmeridianmortgage.com. Click on that green button at the top. It says loan application right here. If you're in process with another lender and you just want to get a quick quote just to see whether or not they're giving you a good deal, you can go to my live quote rating engine, put in your information, and quite simply, it takes about 30 seconds to actually get a quote. And you can cross-reference whether or not you're getting a good deal. If you have any questions using the site, you can give me a call. If you want to make verbal telephone application, happy to do that. You just call 703-799-5626, ask for Kevin. When these rates come up, this middle section is going to be what is close to a 0-point loan. So even with rates having moved up this week, we still have a couple lenders that are below 6% on a purchase with 20% down, conventional financing. So keep in mind this rater goes through about 10, 15 different lenders. When you do one loan application with us, you do one credit pull, one loan application, and we price these out accordingly, trying to get you the best deal. One of our claims to fame is the fact that we've never missed a closing date on a purchase where I've underwritten and did the pre-qual in my 30-year career. We're coming up on our 29th anniversary of being in business. We're doing loans in Virginia, Maryland, and DC. So if you're interested, give us a call. We'd be happy to help. Talk to you soon.